Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. And today I just want to say thank you to everyone out there for sending their thoughts and prayers to my wife. We literally just got back from St. Louis, so thank you very much for those prayers. And unfortunately, there's not going to be a live stream tonight because I didn't know when I was going to be getting back in, and because of just all the other stuff going on. Of course, there's always that snowball's chance that randomly things open up and I'm able to jump on for a little bit. But of course, if that does happen, you'll probably get very little warning about it. But I did want to make a video covering some news that broke while I was gone. And that is that supposedly actress Rosario Dawson has been cast to play the role of Ashoka Tano in a episode of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. And this has, of course, got the fan base pretty split. And what's interesting is that it's really not fandom menace versus non-fandom menace types. There's actually divides even within the fandom menace itself. And I find myself kind of in this in-between where I'm not overly excited by the news, but I'm also not totally against it either. Like, for example, you look at this image right here. That was obviously a recreation of Ashoka Tano and reimagining rather, as if it were going to be Rosario Dawson on the right-hand side here. And she actually looks the part. She actually looks like she could play this part very well. I guess my biggest gripe with it, my biggest concern with it when they first announced it was I thought to myself, okay, so they're obviously going to be going more towards the adult version of Ashoka Tano. Of course, I'm more used to the younger version of Ahsoka from the original Clone Wars series. Obviously, we know that she grew up. Obviously, we know that even in Rebels, we see basically the adult Ashoka Tano come back at one point, which is going to be the role that Rosario Dawson is playing. But I think it's also gotten to that point now where because of everything that happened with Rise of Skywalker and with them basically insinuating that up to that point, Ahsoka Tano had been killed off or had died at some point, and we never really got an explanation as to how, kind of makes me both not excited for this at all, because as much as I would love to have a live-action version of Ahsoka Tano, I don't really trust the current state of Star Wars as much of an improvement that the Clone Wars Season 7 has been so far, and that, of course, the Mandalorian series was. Overall, though, when you take it out of the bubble that we've been in, right, this Disney bubble of really bad Star Wars, it's mediocre, right? It's mediocre at best. I think that when you look to shows like The Mandalorian, you had some really good episodes, you had some really bad episodes, and you had some meh episodes as well. And some argue, well, every season of any series is like that, but I say nay. I honestly believe, taking that from comedian John Panette, because I honestly believe that there are shows that are just good, right? I think of shows like Breaking Bad. I can't think of a single episode that I actually hated, that I actually never wanted to watch again. Were there strong and weak episodes? Yes, and every series has that. Every series has a strong or weak episode, but there are very good series out there that don't have any bad episodes. The Mandalorian Season 1 had some downright bad episodes with really bad direction, bad storytelling, and of course, all of those jumping times of run time and run length just did not work for it overall. I'm really hoping that Season 2, they're able to kind of, tweak things a little bit more, because I do still have a lot of confidence in the likes of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau behind the reins of that show, because when it was good and when it was on, it was on. And if they're able to bring directors like Deborah Chow back, who had seriously the only consistency in the show, because every episode she directed, I think the 2 episodes she directed were fantastic. If she's given the reins on any episode dealing with Ahsoka Tano, and not, I would actually argue, not Dave Filoni, because Dave Filoni's episodes, to be honest, really weren't the best overall. Both the one that he wrote and directed and the one that he just directed. So I kind of want a more capable hand if you're going to be bringing this character to live action in this way. So getting back to the actual casting of Rosario Dawson, she's been in a lot of stuff. I mean, I think that the one that comes to mind immediately, I know this is kind of a random one, but I think of Clerks 2. Where she plays a very comedic role in that. So she can play those comedic roles. Of course, she was also been in more dramatic roles. She was in the live-action version of Rent, which overall as a movie was just not a very good transition, because it's a hard show to transition overall, but she played the part very well, despite the auto-tuning of her voice, which happened to pretty much every character in that movie. That all being said, she was able to act the part very well. And so I think that she'll be able to capture all of the varying emotions of the character of Ahsoka Tano. That all being said, I think that people that are bringing up criticisms of the casting also make some valid points as well. Again, her not maybe seeming like the fit for the part in their own mind. Again, I think that's something that's up to interpretation. That's something that's up for everyone's opinion. But now the reason I'm just kind of meh on is because, as I said before, if you're going to have someone be this role and you're going to bring it into a television series, why not just have Ashley Eckstein the person that voiced the character of Ahsoka in the Clone Wars and in Rebels just come back. I mean, apparently I've seen photos where she actually cosplayed as the character, and so she can play. I mean, most of it's going to be in makeup anyways, unless they try and do some really crappy CGI, which I'm really hoping they don't do. But most of it's just going to be makeup anyway, and seeing that she already has the iconic voice that any fans of the series like Clone Wars and Rebels are aware of, and hell, even the Ahsoka novel was voiced by and read by actually X-Con as well. She obviously has the chops for it, and I think that if you really want to get fans invested in the show, having her be the one cast, I think, would make a lot more sense personally. So I think if you're going with best casting overall, I think that she would probably be my fan favorite, or my pick as a fan to play the character. And I think that there are other actresses out there that I'm probably not even thinking of right now that might be a better choice than Rosario Dawson. But I do want to make clear, I don't think Rosario Dawson is a bad choice. I don't think that she's a terrible choice. As I said, I've seen her in various films, and overall, I think that she's a good actress. I think that she's solid. I think that she's able to play a wide range of emotion from comedy to drama. And as long as she's got a very good director, again, looking at you, Deborah Chow, or someone else like that behind the camera, kind of helping guide her along and helping her get the best performance that she can out of the character. And of course, having a good script, because that's also something that The Mandalorian suffered from, was having some good scripts and some not so good. And Jon Favreau wrote most of those episodes. So it was kind of like this back and forth madness. And I really do think it's because they just decided to chop it up at random points instead of just having it be one long movie or something to that effect. But it's going to be interesting nonetheless. So what are your thoughts on it? Are you happy with Ahsoka Tano? Again, as our boys over at Abandoned Comics cover, there are indeed a lot of people that have a lot of roles on that. So after Rosario Dawson was rumored to play Ashoka Tano in Season 2 of The Mandalorian, a segment of Star Wars demanded for the role to be recast. Slash Film originally reported Dawson would play Tano in the second season of Mandalorian, and this says, "We have exclusively learned that Rosario Dawson will appear in The Mandalorian Season 2, and are excited to report that she will be playing a fan-favorite character previously only seen in Star Wars animated productions. Dawson will be playing a live-action version of Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker's Jedi Padawan apprentice, who appeared in Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels." So here's some more fan art of the character overall. This report would allegedly be confirmed by Variety. They reported the Briar Patch star has been cast in the guest starring role of Ahsoka Tano. Variety has confirmed. Following these reports, a segment of Star Wars fans began using the hashtags #NotMyAhsoka, #RecastAhsoka. They began demanding Disney recast the character, with many claiming Rosario Dawson is a transphobic person, which I'm sorry, if anyone is going to use the word transphobic, they are not based in reality. These are people, you know, it's so funny because these are the same people that say, "Oh, you deny science" when it comes to other various political movements and political points. But as soon as you bring up to them, let's talk about chromosomes, they go, "Oh no, we can't talk about that." So if this is what they're going after her for, if this is the segment of people that's going after her casting, then that just makes me want to embrace her even more. That just wants me to support her even more so, because it's like, seriously, get over yourself. Men are men and women are women. Get over it. Science and facts do not care about your feelings. Get over yourself. So, and also, if you're going to have a criticism, why don't you actually bring up something legitimate, like her acting capability, her ability to play a character? You could even say and argue her age. I think that's a valid point to bring up depending on what version of the character you're thinking of. But to say, "Oh, don't cast her because she accepts science," is freaking ridiculous, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know if you think this is a good casting choice, a bad casting choice, or if you're kind of like me, where you're kind of in the middle with it. You're like, nah, I mean, I don't care one way or the other. I think that I think she'll do very well in the role if she has a good director and good writing underneath her. But also at the same time, I'm kind of more worried, well, actually, that time may have been a better choice overall, even though, again, when it comes to any of these actors, they're always going to have some politics or some political movement that they've been a part of. But you know what? If you're getting attacked because you're accepting science, then hey, go right ahead, because if there's anything that will make me happy, it's these crazies out there that deny science and deny reality who are going to go after you for this role, and I'll be right there to support you with it. And lastly, before I move on from the news of the day, this is a very sad thing to see. So Friday estimates, nothing to report from thenumbers.com, to the point where they literally have to put weekly Friday to Thursday domestic chart starting on March 13th. This is what it made overall. So Onward made 11 million from last Friday to it's just not good. Right? It's just not good. It's really sad times for the theater industry overall. Of course, we have many movies that are coming out on demand, as I've talked about before. What I didn't know is that Onward is actually available for purchase now. I thought it was going to be available for rental, but when I pulled up my Google app the other day, you can buy the movie that's only been out for 2 or 3 weeks for about $20. the 4K edition, the 4K version you can buy, and it's going to be available on Disney Plus starting around April 4th. So onward, they're trying to make some money back on it, but interesting that they're not going to try and do the rental game that other studios like Universal are doing with some of their films overall. But what are your thoughts about this box office news? But again, the news of the day, well, that's on Rosario Dawson being cast as the role. Are you in agreement that she's not good because, oh my gosh, she accepts science? If you're one of those persons, this is not the channel for you because we try and keep everything grounded in reality here. But if you have a legitimate criticism that's not crazy, please leave your comment below in the pinned comment especially. But if you like this video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe if you've not done so already, click the bell for notifications. Who knows if I'll go live tonight? I'm not planning on it, but if I do, no one else is going to know about it, not even my Valkyrie. But anyway, you guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful night, and as always, God bless. And now to give a special shout out to my March Patreon and Subscribe Star members: animation commentator Brian P., Dion, David Brobrizik, Divex, Elizabeth M., Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, Hail Father, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Harold Francis, the Honker Chonker Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, JJ Jonathan Jerembeck, Kenneth Camiel, Lady T, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, Orange Hat Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, Riff Magos, Riff Racer Request, Rosetta Allen, Sir Lancelato, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, The DJD Show, and Tina B for Patreon, and my Subscribe Star peeps, Robert Revo, Larry, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, G2 Cool 99, Dark Star 57, Alex McCarthy, US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nebadan G. Adams, and ZK Man, and Mike Jackson. Thank you all so much for being my Patreon and Subscribe Star members for the month of March. You are all amazing people. Thank you so much for the support, and I hope that you are enjoying your perks. If you do not know the perks that you get, make sure you read again through all the perks that are listed, and also check your messages if you're over on Patreon, because if you are a $5 and up backer on Patreon, you get special access to giveaways over on the Discord. I send out messages with a link to join the Discord server. I will then hook you up over there, and you'll have access to some really cool giveaways. I give away 4Ks, Blu-rays, digital codes, try and give away at least a couple of big movies, 4K Blu-ray titles a month, and try to do at least 2 to 3 giveaways for when it comes to digital download codes. And I might try and do a little bit more this month as well, because I'm always trying to add extra stuff to it. And also, if you are a $10 or up backer, then you have access to a special podcast that I am starting to do with John the Flick Pick. That's right, John Flickinger of the Flick Pick channel. We're having a lot of fun with the podcast, and so expect that every couple weeks. And of course, also any extra behind the scenes, extra footage, extra interviews, extra solo podcasts as well, you will also have access to. And my special $25 and up backers on Patreon Subscribe Star, you have access to all of those things that I've listed. You also get a t-shirt. That's right, I will send you a t-shirt for your first month. And of course, you can also be featured on the Chosen to Valhalla live stream once a month. You get to be featured on the Odin's movie blog channel. It's always usually on a Sunday around 12 p.m. Eastern time. You get to join some lovely peeps and have some really great discussion with all of the Chosen of Valhalla and me with the live audience. Anyway, you guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.